Yep, I bought another toolbox. I had my friend Dustin help me remove a bunch of rust. Thanks, Dustin. The goal with this project is to keep it looking relatively vintage.
That's kind of what you're doing, is you're resurrecting things too, right?
He did a pretty good job cleaning up those latches.
Holy crap, that looks freaking good.
And this one too, eh?
As you can see, I also had to remove a lot of rust. Despite writing graffiti for many years, I'm not very good with a spray can. I think after this project I've gotten a little bit better, but I think because of the wind and the cold weather, I wasn't able to get very many consistent coats. One of these days I'll have a workshop with a ventilation system. It's going to be so cool. And then I'll be able to do whatever I want. But the goal here was to just get some color down so I could start putting some artwork on there. I had drawn a few different panther designs leading up to this point, but I was feeling like I needed to draw one more before taking it to the toolbox. I was pretty happy with this. I used this water-based marker. It was pretty good at erasing if I made any mistakes. Just a little backstory about this toolbox. The guy who I bought it from told me the history, and it sounded like it had some sentimental value to his family. I had shown him the video of me customizing the previous toolbox, and he thought it was pretty cool. So I originally thought maybe I'll design something for him and just bring it back to him for free. So I decided to message him and ask if he'd be okay with that. I think he kind of knew that I was going to make a video with it. And truthfully, it sounded like he didn't want to let the thing go when he found out that I was going to paint it. So yeah, I messaged him, and his response when I asked him was no, with 3 exclamation points. So I thought I offended him at first, and I was like, okay, man, no worries. Like, I'm not gonna paint it if you don't want it, you know. Then I think, I don't know, 20 minutes went by, and I get another message from him, and he's basically saying, like, you know, you're an artist, the work you make is beautiful, you deserve to make money from your art, so just, I want you to make something that, like, speaks to you, kind of thing. And, you know, it was a really encouraging message. He told me that he was a teacher, and, you know, it was important for him to see creative projects come to fruition. And yeah, it was just like a really nice uplifting message from a complete stranger. And I don't know, maybe this will still end up on his doorstep, but that guy really encouraged me. And he's just a guy from Marketplace, random, but he really loved the design I did on the first toolbox. And, you know, I think he appreciates what I do. And it was really cool. Thought I'd share that. This right here is my absolute favorite part. The blackout lines. As you can see, the paint markers didn't really get the greatest coverage. It appears that the lighter colors of this brand of markers takes a few passes to get a good, opaque coverage. But it kind of looks like fur. So we roll with it. And you'll see on the darker colors, it's way more opaque. And here I am going back to my graffiti roots. Got to do a bright colored outline. I decided for this video to keep things in real time, do no time lapses. I'm curious to know if that's received well. I think it's pretty cool that you get to see kind of the speed at which I actually work. Anytime you see me cut, more likely than not, I've put my head in the frame and you can't see what I'm doing. So a lot of that outline is me in the way, unfortunately. I'll have to be conscious of that next time. So here I'm doing white eyes. Later on, I'll switch that to a different color because I wanted it to look scarier. But as you can see, I really like bold designs. Every project that I have upcoming is pretty much a bold design like this. I don't know if it's the graffiti roots or what it is, but I've always liked this style of design. I'm also one to pump out projects as fast as possible. Once I see the vision, I just want to get to the end, and I kind of know the steps that need to be taken to get there. And for the most part, I feel like I can translate a story or message with these simple designs. I don't know if it's ADHD, but realistic designs just don't really work for me. I get too bored. I've been drawing flames since I was a kid, and they're definitely really easy to mess up if you're not paying attention. I'm pretty happy with how these turned out though. And as you can see, we went with yellow eyes. There's a lot of breathing in this last section of the video. When I'm doing the outlines, it demands a level of focus and stability. I kind of compare it to like a sniper when they're aiming down their scope about to take a shot. You gotta hold your breath, think about what you're doing, and then eventually release, which is what you'll hear me do a few times. Exhibit A. I usually don't show the process like this. It might be a little too slow for people, but I find it kind of therapeutic. And my first smudge.
No.
We move on though. I had a lot of fun making this. I had known for a few weeks that I wanted to do a panther or something of the sort. And I didn't really know how it would turn out since I've never drawn a panther on anything. The tiger was terrifying because, you know, there's a lot of other details about a tiger that make it more complicated. But I think it turned out really cool. You know, proportions are not perfect. Obviously, it's cartoon style, but I think there's like some uniqueness about it, some inconsistencies that were worth leaning into. So, last thing to do is sign and date. I forgot to do this on the last one. And I'm breathing heavily again, because this had to be perfect.
Oh baby, you like sugar in my coffee.